Is it time to finally sell SoFi stock, with the stock being down almost 40% from the recent highs of $18? The stock was trading under 11 bucks today. Is it time to get out and wash your hands with SoFi stock? Let's answer that question. All right, stock market investors, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really does help us get into the algorithm. And if you like updates on SoFi stock, please consider subscribing to the channel. All right, the last few weeks have been a dumpster fire for SoFi stock. So what am I doing with my shares? Am I panic selling like a lot of retail is doing right now? Absolutely not, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, guys, today we were up almost 1%. Woohoo! But over the last 5 days, we're down 15%. Over the last month, down 24%. If we look at the 6-month chart, we peaked around what? 18 bucks. 1803 was the top. And now we're down 37.5% in only what? From January 23rd, not even 2 months. Unfortunately, this current administration is obsessed with tariffs, and for whatever reason, the stock market doesn't like that obsession at all whatsoever. If we look at the S&P 500, it's been an absolute nightmare, man. It's been crazy, guys. Year to date, down 5%. Over the last 6 months, from peak to trough, we're down 9.31%. So we're almost in correction territory. That's 10%, right? The NASDAQ has performed even worse. The NASDAQ is down 11% over the last month alone. The last 6 months, peak to trough, we're down 14%. We're already in correction territory, right? This year has not been great for stock market investors at all whatsoever, right? So we got to keep in mind what we want to do long term. And if your favorite product in the world is 40% off, you're probably going to go buy some more of that product, right? And that's what I'm doing with SoFi stock. I'm adding shares during this dip. Anything under really, I love anything under 12 bucks for sure. That's what I'm adding heavily. Anytime it hits into the tens, I'm buying. In this little baby account, we have about 250 shares, around a $9.95 average. In my big dog account, I got around 4,500 shares. And then in my IRA and some other little baby accounts, I got around 5,000 shares total of SoFi. But with this recent sell-off, guys, I'm just adding, man. I'm adding and adding. It was not long. What has changed with the SoFi company since the $18 price on January 23rd? Absolutely nothing. Nothing has changed. The only things that have changed is the macro environment, right? These tariffs are putting a huge damper on the market. We'll see what happens, right? I'm hoping that some concessions can be made on both sides so we get to a point where we could both economically work together, because sanctions and tariffs, they're not going to work on either side. So we need to drop the BS and just move forward as a global economy. These tariffs are stupid, and I'm hoping that we can move forward very, very soon. But now is the time to add to your positions, right? I love SoFi under 12 bucks per share. I think it's an absolute buy, right? I really, really want to add. Okay, let's take a look at the income statement from SoFi stock, right? Net income, $332 million in the most recent quarter. And if we look at these year-over-year changes in revenue, operating expenses are up. I don't necessarily love that. Net income is up. Net profit margin is up. And these numbers are up huge. Net income and net profit margin, both over 475%. Net income is up almost 600% in a year-over-year basis, right? So the company is functioning very, very, very well. And I'm very happy with what SoFi is doing collectively as a company. Earnings per share is up 12% as well. If we take a look at the bar chart annually, we could see the monster growth for SoFi, man. We were back in 2020, we lost $224 million. Now in 2024, we made $500 million on the bottom line. And the revenue is going up pretty much $600 million per year. That's very, very impressive, right? You have 400 million, then we got 600 million, another 600 million, and another 600 million, year after year after year after year. I'm happy with that, guys. I mean, there's not too many companies growing this much And like where SoFi's at right now, the PE is only like 25, right? And if we take a look at the valuation for SoFi, it's starting to look pretty juicy again, guys. The market cap dropped $4 billion from the end of 2024. That is insane. That's really, really crazy. The forward PE is only at 34, trailing PE at 28. For a company growing this much year after year, pretty solid. The PEG ratio is under 2, which I like. Price to sales, I wish it would come down a little bit, but the price to book, way better than it was back in December. And getting back in that range that it was trading at, it's actually trading lower price to book now than it was back in 2023, guys. So valuation-wise, it makes a lot of sense. The enterprise value to revenue also pretty low right now, man. So valuation-wise, you're getting this company under 13 billion market cap, forward PE in the mid 30s. I would like to see this forward PE get under 30. That's when I'm really going to start buying for sure. But in that 35 to 30 range, slow add. Under 30 is when you got to start accumulating shares. But to me, like back in 2023, the forward PE was 181. Look at it now. It's in the 30s. You're getting so much more for your buck, man. Your dollar is going so much more into this company value-wise than it really has ever been before in the history of this company. Back in September of 2024, that's when it was like trading around $7 per share. That was the cheapest we ever saw with the forward PE at 32, right? We're right in that range now. So anything under $11 is screaming a buy for me. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a shareholder. I honestly believe that, guys. And that's what you're going to get on this channel. I'm going to give it to you the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, a little bit of everything, right? So I'm just going to call it like I see it. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. That's not how I operate. That's why you got to subscribe to the channel. So for me, SoFi is looking pretty juicy, man. Quarterly, let's just take a look at the balance sheet just for shits and giggles. Cash is down a little bit, but the assets are up 20%. Liabilities are up a little bit, but that's because SoFi is expanding their ability to buy other companies and to expand their business, right? Sometimes debt is good for business because it allows you to grow, but you got to do it in a responsible way, right? Cash flow. Net income, like I said, up around 600%. Cash from operations up 20%. Cash from investing up 10%. Cash from financing down 38.33%, and net change in cash down 181%. So they're putting their cash to work for them right now. That's what these numbers are telling me. It's not because the company's not making money, because if you compare that to the bottom line, the net income is there, growing steadily quarter over quarter over quarter. If you look at the last 3 quarters, growing, right? So they're taking this cash and putting it back into the business and trying to expand all these different products and have them reach more and more potential customers, right? So what am I doing with my SoFi shares? I'm sure shit not selling them at these prices. It was just 18 bucks per share not too long ago, right? So if you have some cash, now might be a good time to deploy that into SoFi stock. That's what I'm doing. I want to get up to 10,000 shares. That's my goal over the next couple of years. We'll see if we get there, right? 10,000 is my goal. Let me know in the comments below, how many shares do you own and what is your goal in SoFi ownership? Do you want to get to 1,000, 500, 2,000, 5,000? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more SoFi updates, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.